He's in the program. On the sign-up sheet, we are going to hear from Lefty, who says he's got a Shakespearean limerick.
I'm not your good friend?
And also a very good friend of mine.
Well, hi everybody, having a good time so far? Yeah. Now, how about that fella, Jeff Goode? He said things unbelievably rude. And you're also weird that you clapped and you cheered when all decent people would have booed. Limericks a poem of sorts, with 3 longer lines and 2 shorts. What a wonderful time to share and to rhyme with limerick-loving cohorts, right? Am I right? I love limericks. I have for a long time. There's a play by one of my favorite playwrights, Tom Stoppard, Travesties is the name of the play, in which it's a historical fiction with some real-life characters, Tristan Tzara, one of the founders of Dadaism, and James Joyce, who we all know, and the same story is retold several times from the different characters' perspectives. Now, when James Joyce was a young poet in Ireland, he wrote a number of limericks, so one of the scenes in the play is performed entirely in limericks. A couple of my favorites from that, speaking of Tristan Tzara, the Dadaist, Mr. Tzara writes poetry and sculpts with quite unexpected results. I'm told he recites, and on Saturday nights he does all kinds of things for adults. And that play also includes the limerick, an impromptu poet of Hibernia rhymed himself into a hernia. He became quite adept at the practice, except for occasional anticlimaxes. And the last Tom Stoppard limerick in that play is, there once was a lady named Drew, whose limerick stopped at line 2. So, I'd like now... so I signed up, I didn't know we'd be doing limerick suites. I signed up with 2 Shakespearean limericks that I wrote, because Shakespeare wasn't around to help me out with them. And just like reading actual Shakespeare, it's helpful, I find anyway, to have the copy of the text that has the original on one side and sort of the translates into modern English on the other side. So I'm going to give you some footnotes ahead of time, which you may know already. This first limerick requires you to know that an oubliette is a prison of the time, and it comes from the French word to forget. It's where they threw you to forget about you.
What is it?
Oubliette is the word. It's a prison, or a dungeon.
No, the second word?
I haven't gotten to the second one yet.
I forget.
No, you're doing great. Bang up job so far. An oubliette is a dungeon, and then also in Shakespeare's day, to be pale meant to be brave. So that's what you need to know for this limerick. Ensconced in the oubliette, I quoth, I am falsely accused by my troth. They told me, be pale, choose confession or jail. And jail is spelled G-A-O-L, because that's how it was in Shakespearean time. And though I picked one, I got both. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's, if you have to explain it, right? Yeah, it's about as funny as Shakespeare is, really, right? Here's a Shakespearean limerick for you. An innkeeper, choleric with sorrow, a farthing once asked me to borrow. Said I would that thee had twice that much lend thee bad, for thou interest me in the morrow. It's a debt limerick. Thanks, everybody. Alright, so we'll wrap it up. I'm not going to leave you with Shakespeare, though. I'm going to try something difficult, and this could be a complete failure. Let's just discover together. There's a limerick road trip game that I like to play with my family, in which we go back and forth making up limericks that all have the same last line. It's a very fruitful line that lends itself to concluding limericks, and the rest is unspeakably vile. Because good limericks should be dirty, but just leave a little bit to the imagination. So I'm going to try to make one up right now with that last line, based on a suggestion from one of you. Can somebody tell me an occupation that somebody in your family actually has?
A librarian.
A librarian. Very good. All right. Here we go. A librarian found her job a great trial, and when left to herself for a while, with a stack of volumes in the mustiest of rooms, and the rest is unspeakably vile. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Lefty. All right. Are you ready? Lefty. He is a lefty. Speaking about the kind of limericks, we got one through an email, and he said that he might show up tonight, but he was too chicken to read it, so I'll read it for him. There once was a fellow old duel who found little red spots on his tool. His doctor, a cynic, said, "Get out of me clinic and wipe off that lipstick, you fool."